Hey y'all. All right, as you can see, we are not in the garage today. Nope. Today I am off the leash, doing a little traveling with the family. They are back at the campground. Went and got the RV out and pulled it up here just outside the Great Smokey Mountains National Park up here in Townsend, Tennessee. So we're gonna look around. It's a rainy, wet, nasty kind of day, but you know what? I'm one of those people, I can't just sit around in the house all day when it's raining. So I thought this might be a good opportunity to just come up here and kind of goof around. Maybe go up here to Cades Cove and look around a little bit. So why don't you ride with me? Let's go look, have a look-see and see what we see. All right. So, sorry about the rain. That's just the way it is. You know, so the wipers are going to have to go a little bit more often than I would like. But if you ever get a chance to come to East Tennessee, Great Smokey Mountains Park is one of the most highly visited national parks in the United States, and you can see why when you come up here. It is absolutely incredible. So beautiful, beautiful place. So I'm gonna pull over here and we're gonna get a little look at the river here real quick. I'm also going to pull my hoodie off because my hoodie is damp and almost wet from being out here in the rain. I've had to make a lot of trips out in the rain. So a couple of ducks flying down through there. They were going fast too, but they were hugging the ground. I think there's some folks up here wading in the pool up there. So, all right, I'm gonna pause this. And we'll catch up. I'll catch you up later. We're gonna drive on up the road. Okay, y'all, we are back and I'm back here with you. Absolutely just gorgeous here in the park, but I got to do a quick little shout out to this right here. This truck, we've had it for a couple of years now and done a bunch of work to it, rebuilt the front suspension, new shocks in the rear, air shocks in the rear, you know, cold air intake, real actual cold air intake, new tires, new wheels, all of that stuff. And this old girl here has done exceptional. Very exceptional. You know, just towed a 28-foot camper up here and the 4.7 liter V8 with over 200,000 miles, over 250,000 miles on it. So it's doing an exceptional job. And I'm going to probably make another video about that hitch back there, because if it's not set up correctly, you're going to have problems. You're going to have a lot of problems. So anyway, going to go ahead and I'm going to do a little driving and do a little talking. But before I get too far into anything, I want to tell you all how much I appreciate you all. Okay? Because you all have propelled the channel to up over 1,685 subscribers. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just, I know I say that all the time, but it's just really something. It just kind of bowls me over because I never imagined. I can remember very distinctly not very long ago when the channel, I was struggling to get like 300 or 400 subscribers, and now I'm up over 1,600 subscribers, and I'm just, almost 1,700 subscribers now. And I'm just like, wow, it's just amazing to me. So, that's what I want to talk to you about. That's what I wanted to tell you. And so I really seriously do appreciate you all. I appreciate the likes and the shares and the subscribes. It's really, really awesome. Oh, and here's a tunnel. So get to do the so there we go. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say how much I appreciate you all. And for those of you who really haven't looked at the 04, I'll be honest, I was one of those people that I never really thought much. I didn't hate them, but I didn't love them either. Was the 02 to 08 Dodge trucks. And my wife had an 08 Dodge Ram 1500. It was V6 though. It was a 3.7 liter V6. And nothing against that engine. I just think that truck was just way too heavy for that engine. And we just needed a V8. And I'll tell you what, the 4.7 liter V8, 287 cubic inches, single overhead cam V8. This one's been wonderful, just absolutely wonderful. And driving up through here, driving around, I was telling my wife earlier, I said, these trucks are just so comfortable. This is an SLT version, so it's got a lot of nicer stuff on it. I mean, I've still got a bunch of little bitty crap to do, like the heater controls. They've got a light behind them that I forgot to plug up. Yeah, I had to take out that heater control, and I had to replace something in there, fix something in there, and I didn't plug the lights back up. That's been over a year ago. If there is any one downside to these trucks, is the 4.7 liter V8 can be a bit of a finicky when it comes to maintenance. You've really got to stay on top of the oil changes and don't let the engine get hot. So, like, when you are towing like I am, you really got to pay attention to the temperature gauge, and it's really important. It's important to do all the time anyway, but it's really super important to do it when you're towing. You just really need to have a good, really excellent cooling system in one of these, because they just don't, if you're one of those, you stay on top of your maintenance and you're changing oil and fluids whenever you're supposed to and all that kind of stuff, you're probably not going to have too much trouble with one of these. But if you're not, if you're one of those that just, it's kind of lazy and you don't see any reason to do that, and you're sticking just whatever kind of oil in them and and all that kind of stuff, you're probably going to have some issues. So, but I'd say anymore in this day and age, regardless of who makes the engine and what type of engine it is, if you're not staying on top of the maintenance anymore, it's going to shut. One other downfall of these trucks is they're kind of thirsty for fuel. Now, I will say this. When we first got this truck, we were getting like 12 and 13 miles a just driving it without no load, no trailer, no nothing. And then I did a tune-up on it, cleaned the throttle body, done the cold air intake, and then I was able to get the fuel mileage to get up to 16 miles to the gallon. So that's just driving around, no trailer or nothing. And today, I mean not today, but yesterday I was pulling the trailer, and most of the way here was like 14 miles to the gallon. So not too shabby, not too bad. I remember that V6 08 Ram. If we could get that thing to get 16 miles to the gallon, that was pretty good. And then if you could get it to stay, then if you could get it to stay at 16 miles per gallon, that was the challenge, because that little engine was just working so hard that it was just, it was having to really work itself to death to get that truck to go up the mountains and hills and stuff around here. If you lived out somewhere where maybe out further, like Middle Tennessee or somewhere flatter, maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal. But and then towing with that V6 truck, man, yeah, you don't want to tow anything real heavy. I can remember towing my Barracuda on my car trailer with that thing, and it was just like, it took everything that little engine had. So anyway, but one thing was for certain, it was trouble free. So, but I'm one of those, I'm particular about maintenance. I try to stay on top of it. But this truck is also two-wheel drive, so that makes it a little bit nicer. Okay. There is a whole lot of this kind of just boring, kind of monotonous kind of scenery, and I don't want to bore you all to death with this. So I'm going to pause this. If I see something interesting or cool or whatever, I'm going to open it back up and let you see it. Oops, sorry about that. Selfie stick. So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, y'all. We are entering the Cades Cove area. And if it's open, I'm going to drive through here. So I haven't seen anything about it being closed or anything. I think it's open. Let me explain to you what Cades Cove is, okay? Cades Cove, you drive through here, it's a drive-through kind of thing. It is basically, it is a old-time community, country community that is people here they farmed, and they were just your regular country folk. They weren't, they were just kind of this Cades Cove was kind of hidden up here by itself, and there's like a lot of these big open fields here and everything. Very beautiful. The park, the National Park Service owns this, and it's part of the Great Smoky Mountains Park. And they're maintaining it as this farming community. Okay? Now, you can come up here certain times of the year. You can come up here and you can ride your mountain bike through here on the road. Okay. thought that sign was going to say something about the bears up here. You will see bears up here. I have seen them up here several times. And one of the other things is you will be fording, which is you're basically driving through a creek. The fording areas, however, are paved. They're just kind of low so that the water can flow over them. So, and the road here is all one-lane road. So, you will see let's get right here around the corner. I'm gonna put my flashers on so somebody coming around through here, maybe a little too fast, won't run over me. Okay. I don't know if you can see them out through there. Lots of deer. And what's funny to me, oh, there's one way off in the distance over there. I don't know if you can see him. I'm sorry. Oh, he's walking this way, yeah. I said he, it might be a she. There's some distance away, but you can see, you know, very rustic, beautiful area up here. If you want to know more about this area, Google it. Contact your, just Google it. Go to Great Smokey Mountains Park and look for Cades Cove. There's tons of information about it. But you will see lots and lots of animals up here. To me, I live about an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes away from here. So for me to come up here and see all of this, it's sort of like, it's not that different, you know, it's not that big of a deal to me. Now, I realize there's some people that this is. And because some people, you know, they live in towns or cities or stuff like that, and they never see these sort of things. You know, or if they do, they rarely see them. So, okay, now you can exit early from here. You can go straight, which that's the regular loop, or you can go take Sparks Lane, which exits you 2 miles earlier and puts you back out on the road that I was just on earlier before I went to the gate. Now see, they keep some of the old buildings and cabins and stuff like that here. Up here, there's a parking lot for it right there, but up there in that field is John Oliver's cabin. Now that detour I told you about, it is gravel, so you've been warned. And that John Oliver's cabin up there, to get up there to it, it has a long, very long walkway, about 1/4 mile long. I've got to wait for this bird to get out of the road, crow. But one of the great things about that cabin is it is not like a recreation, it is the real thing. So there's some folks up here. I'm just going to pause the camera real quick so that I can drive by them. Now if you look over in there, you get, that's the mountains right there, and you begin to see why they call this area the Smoky Mountains, because of that mist that just sort of just hangs there for such a long period of time. So of course we got Bambi down there, a lot of Bambis. Lots and lots of Bambis everywhere. It's always funny to me because where I live at, I live in a very rural area, like I was saying earlier, and I see this sort of thing: deer and raccoon and possum and turkeys and all kinds of birds and stuff all the time. And see some coyotes every once in a while. See where the wild boar have been tearing up stuff on my property. But and I see all of this, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Not that big a deal to me, but to other people, it's a really big deal. Okay, I'm glad they're taking an interest in it. So. These little, I don't know if you can see them or not. Okay, you can't see them. Oh, wait, you see some right here. See these little yellow flowers right there? They're kind of important. There's some more on out there in the field. And, yeah, you see right there. They're kind of important around here in East Tennessee because they're called Easter flowers. And I'm not going to get too deep into like religion or anything like that because but I will say this much, that that our to us here in the South and also in East Tennessee and other rural areas are around not just rural areas, but to other people who believe in believe in God and Jesus, that Easter is a very important holiday because, well, Jesus rose from the grave. So that's that. And very important holiday to us. So I thought I would just mention that real quick. Now this road is also, I forgot to mention earlier, this road is only one way. So there is no like turn around and go back or something like that. If you missed something, you got to drive back through. But they do have a lot of places to pull off and park, and so you're not sitting there holding up traffic forever. That's something nice. So just a rainy day tour of Cades Cove. It's just a farming community. A lot of people love to come through here. When it's not rainy like this, there is traffic bumper to bumper sometimes. So when you come through here, just be prepared, be ready to sit and wait. But what's really great is when you see some little kid who's never seen a deer before, or something like that, and they see it and they're like, oh my God, Okay, we're gonna go check out the Primitive Baptist Church. So what I was saying earlier about the Easter flowers, that's just something that's important to me. It's important to my people, So, not to offend anybody or to, make you feel like you're, not to make you feel like I'm separating you or something like that. It's just just to talk about that for just a minute, and just to tell you a little bit about the culture here. So there you go. So very little traffic. That van and that car earlier, you know, it's the very little traffic that I've run across. And like I said, you know, a lot of this can be, you see a lot of this. So this is basically your very old country church building. So this is kind of nice. You know, there's a graveyard back there. I'm not going to really go in there very much. I'm going to go inside the church here and look around just real quick. It's kind of dark in there, so I'm just going to go ahead and warn you. It's a little dark. So I'm going to make a donation. You know what? I'm just going to. There we go. There we go. Made a donation there. So this is your typical country church building. I can imagine this building has seen some sad times, but I can imagine it's also seen some really great happy times. Metal plate on the floor, and if you look up there, oh, there's a metal plate up there. What's that all about? Well, that's because here in these church buildings, they didn't have anything sophisticated like HVAC or anything like that, or they didn't even have electricity. You would have your stove, your heating stove right here, probably coal or wood fired, and then your chimney would be right there. It would run straight through. And the reason why is to help radiate the heat from the center of the building. So I can imagine this building's probably seen some weddings and, you know, other glorious, wonderful times like that. Also some baptisms and, you know, people being saved and that sort of thing, you know. So it's pretty awesome. See, more of them. Yeah, more of them Easter flowers out there. So it's just, you know. And it's also, when I see these flowers, I always think of my grandmother's house. I always think of spring and that sort of thing. So, okay, all right. Ooh, yeah. So when you do come in these older buildings, just be aware that sometimes the floor is uneven and not necessarily perfect. But you know what? It's plenty good enough for me. So, and that's something else too. I want to just touch on real quick. When you come into a building, one of these ancient buildings, one of these old buildings, please don't do all of that. Okay? We know you were here. You probably can't see it very well, but there's all kinds of graffiti on the wall. We don't need to know that you were here, you know. We don't need to know who you love. Okay? So, anyway. All right. All right. Oh, look at these nails though. Way they're made. Kind of squarish, square looking nails. Don't know if those are original or reproductions or whatever. All right, let's get back to it. Okay. Oh, see, wait a minute. I almost skipped this here, didn't I? Please respect graves. Stay on maintained trail. Cades Cove Primitive Baptist Church, June 16th, 1827. Just when it was organized. And then there's, let's see, memorial to John Oliver, 1793 to 1864. I hope you can see that. Whoops. Okay. Anyway. All right. So, I'm gonna get on down the road. So, and yeah, please do be respectful when you come to places like this, whether it's in a park or it isn't, because, you know, places like this, these were somebody's, this was very important to somebody. And while some of those people are no longer around, it's kind of disappointing to go into a place like that and you see all just tons and tons of graffiti everywhere. So, all right. Now, this is, I'm driving back on exactly the same road, so I'm going to pause this to keep the video a little bit shorter. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. We're out here, we're on the road, the main road through here, through Cades Cove. Like I was saying earlier, when you do come into these places, please do be respectful. I'm asking you to please be respectful. Here's the Methodist Church.